What is this? Penile inversion vaginoplasty is done on children in the U.S. Dr. Oren Ganor says they reconstruct things that they were supposed to be for that patient. What is this? What the fuck is this? Is this another fucking instance where they're just like making shit up?
Vaginoplasty is the full name of vaginoplasty. In this procedure, the surgical team is creating the outer and the inner vagina. The reason it's called penile inversion vaginoplasty because we use the penile skin and the scrotal skin in order to reconstruct the vagina. By doing so, we break it down to all of its components, and we use some of the tissue to reconstruct things the way they were supposed to be for that patient.
Oh, it's because it says Boston's Children's Hospital on the side. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are they saying like this is being done on children? This is not being done on children. For the record, I just want people to understand. Number one, what do I always tell you? They always fucking talk about surgery in like gruesome terms. When you're like, they'll take like an actual doctor. They'll take like an actual doctor talking about surgery, and then they'll turn around and go, "Oh, dude, unacceptable. Look at them. Look at how gruesome this is." And it's like, he's just describing bottom surgery, right? So on the side, it says Boston Children's Hospital. I don't know if you guys know this, but that doesn't mean they only do surgery on children. As a matter of fact, I know 100% that the Boston Children's Hospital does not perform this surgery, nor any top or bottom surgery, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's like it's not gender affirming, but unless there's like literally a need, like a literal immediate life-threatening need, there are no top or bottom surgeries conducted at the Boston Children's Hospital for people under the age of 18. Okay? The surgery he's describing is not done to children. So not only have we established that all surgeries are obviously gross because you're technically cutting a human up, okay? But also, what this doctor's describing is bottom surgery, and it's not being done to children, but this fucking dipshit hasn't stopped himself from saying it is. Penile inversion vaginoplasty is done on children in the U.S. Not true. Just completely false. But of course, that didn't stop Jordan Peterson from lying about it and saying, prison! And then also further quote retweeting it and saying, and it's not a vagina, it's a hole for another man to fuck. And that's that. Which is odd. So, you know, in the past week, he's basically, like I said, debated a chat GPT, I guess, which I'm not going to read because that sounds insane. Talked about how, in his mind, there are children who are getting vaginoplasties, which is not the case. What is trans people's take on this, by the way? Is it okay to withhold top-bottom surgery if you get everything else and then do this at 18? I think that is what happens, yes. They did bottom surgery on that kid from that jazz show. What jazz show? Didn't they? What jazz show? I don't even know what you're talking about. There might be exceptions. Now, one thing that people need to understand, there might be exceptions to the rule. We're talking about fucking literal, the actual rule. Okay? Now, there might be exceptions to the rule. You want to know what the most common fucking gender surgery that's conducted on children that no one even considers or thinks about, though? Doctors deciding what your gender is supposed to be when you're intersex. It's done all the fucking time. And nobody thinks that's weird. Care to consider why nobody thinks that's weird? No, I'm not talking about circumcision, even though that is also obviously another non-consensual surgery that they do. And I am an intactivist, and I want my foreskin back. Give it back to me. Anyway, no, it's intersex babies are born all the time, and then doctors choose their gender for them. That's it. They do that regularly. But hey, that corresponds to the binary, right? It's quite literally creating a gender binary, reinforcing that gender binary that isn't real. So they don't give a fuck. How do they choose? I think like the way they choose is like basically if there is a like a visible penis and a vagina, I think they like close off the vagina, right? Whatever is most presenting, they just kind of go with like whichever organ. I think parents also get a say. I'm pretty sure that's what the video was referencing to, or what the video was referring to. It's a super draconian practice, and it needs to be ended. Our hospital protocol allows all parents to decide intersex child sexual organ assignment, but conservatives never bring that up. Yup. Yeah, if one is less developed than the other, they figure out how to get rid of it. Which, ironically, I think... ironically, that same Boston Children's Hospital that got bomb threats is no longer doing that. Because they find it to be unimaginably cruel. Like literally. So they're not doing the bad kind of child sex reassignment surgery. And they're not even doing any kind of like organ replacement or anything like that in general until the kid is a consenting adult, at least 18. It's wild, dude. That's like a 0.2% occurrence to have an intersex. You are doing what the right does with whataboutism. That's literally not true. And it's also not whataboutism just because it's like 0.02%, even though it's not true. It's higher than that. But you just made that number up. You pulled it out of your ass. But even then, that's a lot of fucking people that are just getting a surgery that they did not consent to. Okay? Also, we're talking about trans people too. Trans people are not that large of a fucking population. So what's up, dude? What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Should we just fucking kill them? Like, is that what you want? The entire point of conversation revolving like trans affirming care and healthcare quite literally is that like they should be able to get that. It's a medical procedure that should be left between the patient and the doctor. Okay, so it's fucking idiotic to be like, this is just a tiny fraction. Oh, okay, kill him then. Fuck it, dude. What do you mean? Doesn't matter. That is an argument on my side. If it's incredibly rare, then it's understandable that doctors shouldn't even do this, shouldn't even perform this. Do you understand? Do you get it? Do you understand? Instead of saying Google it, do you understand the point that you're making? Yeah, Google says 1.7%. I know. It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. That's intersex people. And the number is supposedly higher than that because there are these surgeries that are conducted that people don't even think about. But also, it doesn't even matter because even if it was a tiny fraction of the fucking population, why is it still appropriate to do this? Why do you think it's appropriate to do this? You think it's appropriate to do this because it reinforces the gender binary. That's it. That's the only reason why you think this is like, this is adequate and appropriate to do. That's it. Got it? That's why you defend this and not the inverse of this. The inverse of this would be a child being able to consent to like whatever kind of fucking top or bottom surgery, which they don't do. That's not allowed. And that's understandable that that's not allowed because it's irreversible. This is also irreversible, but this is allowed. Do you understand why? Are hormones consentable? Hormones or puberty blockers is what people use, okay? Is gender affirming puberty blockers are reversible. Not only that, but also on top of that, or puberty blockers are reversible, but on top of that, there's also gender affirming hormones that you can get, except it doesn't fucking matter. It's like, it's conducted by medical professionals. You're talking about literally doctor prescribed pills that you're like, nope, don't care. Don't give a fuck what this doctor is saying. I, a dumbass, have decided I know more than the fucking doctor because the doctor is woke and gay and is operating under the trans agenda. You know what I mean? Do you know how much of a caveman you sound like when you say dumb shit like this? It's so dumb. Why is Chad so fucking transphobic? Call them out, please. No, I am a transphobe myself, which is why I'm not calling them out. Like, what do you mean? Who is transphobic in the chat? I'm literally addressing the transphobic idiocy in the chat. The fuck are you talking about? We're literally currently having a conversation that is inherently against transphobia. Like, what do you mean? Where are the transphobes? Just tell them to the mods and we'll fucking block them. We'll ban them. What the fuck? Anyway. Only cis people get to use hormones as gender reaffirming treatment? Yeah, exactly. Look, if you're a woman, you can fucking immediately get placed on. If you're AFAB, cis, you get all matter of different kinds of hormones, right? And you should be able to, by the way. Don't misunderstand me. You get birth control, you get all other kinds of shit. But like, God forbid, you know? God forbid. Catboy Collector. Research shows, here Catboy Collector is back again. My number one enemy in the chat. The only reason they do mastectomies on trans teenagers is because the efficacy rate is absurdly fucking high and the regret rate is less than 1%. I got mine at 16 and it took 1 billion recommendations. There you go. Oh, what do you know about mastectomies, Catboy Collector? Oh, wait, you had one. Okay, never mind. No, but like, for real, it's you know, there's no way on the planet do you get a fucking mastectomy under the age of 18 without 1 million fucking recommendations and like psychiatric evaluation, all sorts of shit, right? Research shows that if child/teen presents with consistent gender dysphoria for over a year past the age of 13, they're only 2.5% likely to detransition, and most of those detransitions happen before medical interventions. Goddamn. Catboy Collector collecting facts. By the way, that number, as I'm sure Catboy Collector would also happily bring forward, is infinitely lower than any kind of cosmetic surgery. Like, what is it? What is the number for like plastic surgery? What's the percentage of plastic surgery and like people that actually don't like it after the fact? It's like insane. Yeah, cosmetic surgery regret is 65%. 65% of people regret cosmetic surgical regret, have cosmetic surgical regret. 65%. That number for trans people is 2.5%. Okay? And we spend all our time fucking talking about trans people. Nobody wants to ban cosmetic surgery. Trans surgical regret is under 1%. And the New York Times writes articles about it literally non-fucking stop. Like it's the most prescient, most pressing, most important fucking matter at hand. Yeah. That's why trans surgical regret is under 1%. Actually, most detrans pre-surgery. That's why the number is different. You know what's funny, though? Because of the small number of trans people on the planet in general, that's why I have to hand it to the motherfucking New York Times, okay? I'm sorry, trans people. You don't understand how fucking hard it is to find literally the one person who's a detransitioner, okay? Like maybe two. Because there's not that many trans people in general, percentage-wise. And then also on top of that, the likelihood that you're going to find someone who's like, oh, actually, I wasn't trans. I hate this. I'm a detransitioner. That is the real transvestigative journalism, okay? To be able to find the literal, and I mean actual in totality, 4 fucking people and then endlessly write articles about them, that shit's not easy. You think it's easy? Huh? Trans people are 0.1% of the population. Detransitioners are 2% of that 0.1% of the population, which leads to literally like 8 guys, okay? And you know how hard that shit is? You know how hard it is to find the 8 people? Well, I guess it's not that hard because they don't shut the fuck up. Oh my God, because it's a very good grift after that. Okay? You know how hard it is to juice the same 8 people over and over again, make them seem like they're different people? It's hard. Not easy. Regrets rates for normal surgeries, post-mastectomy, reconstruction 47%, prostate surgery 20%, knee replacement 10%. We wouldn't question decisions to undergo joint replacement or cancer-related surgery. Yeah. Anyway. New York Times looking 10x harder for detransition trans people than they look for WMDs in Iraq. Yeah, I mean that's just how it is. It's hard. It's hard out there, man. It's hard out there to cut the same fucking article 10 in 10 different ways when there's quite literally only 10 people. Why would you regret tumor removal? Complications, post-surgical complications. It's very common. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that get like that, for example, had to get their fucking like a piece of their shoulder removed, and now they have like significant shoulder mobility issues. So it is really like there's always a lot of post-surgical complications that come along, and especially if you don't do like correct physical therapy, or even with correct physical therapy, you can still have post-surgical complications. So that is the reason why a lot of people have. Yeah, it's not always like directly related to like the direct changes that you exhibit either. Yeah. Scar tissue hurts forever. Scar tissue doesn't heal right ever. You know what I mean? Most who detrans are forced to and are still trans, but 82.5% of those who detransition attribute their decision to at least one external factor, such as pressure from family, non-affirming school environments, and increased vulnerability to violence, including sexual assault. I know why I've put off surgery in the past. I have I had a cartilage the size of a ping pong ball swirling around in my leg, and I put it off until the very last moment that I had to get it, when my doctor literally said, if it gets lodged under your fucking kneecap one more time, you could no longer walk without assistance. So I had to get it. And when I did, I hated it after, but I mean, I had to do it, so I don't have any regrets, but it sucked. The physical therapy aspect of it is really shitty. You lose all of your muscle mass, your muscle atrophies. It sucks. My wife has a brain tumor. They made a surgery to remove as much as they could, and it caused massive issues now. She gets easy concussions, has hormone imbalance. Now the tumor is back to the same size, but has been stable for the past 3 years. She definitely regrets the surgery. Yeah. Because I think what a lot of people don't understand is that, maybe you weren't listening to the fucking psychotic right-wingers when they were describing the gruesome process of a surgery, but a surgery is gruesome. After all, they're literally cutting you with fucking knives and saws and shit. You know what I mean? They're cutting your shit up. And that process is gruesome, which is why when you look at a results-based, when you have a results-based approach to how successful surgeries are, you can make the argument that all surgeries are fucking gruesome, right? Even like a laparoscopic surgery, right? You know what that is? They they drill a hole on your skin. They drill a hole directly into your fucking knee, right? And they basically put a suck straw, okay? A tiny suck straw with a camera attached to it to go find the fucking the foreign object that is in your body, okay? And then they slurp that piece of fucking bone out of your body. That's nasty as fuck. Yeah, a robotic suck straw is put into your body through through a small hole that they create. Now that literally is one of the least invasive surgeries. You're in and out, same day. Do you get what I'm saying? So you can absolutely fucking use that. Laparoscopic is actually for the abdomen, like hernias. No, I got a laparoscopic surgery on my knee too, so you're wrong. It's not just for the abdomen. You're thinking of orthoscopic? Is that what I'm thinking of? Am I saying it? I don't know. It's just, but it's the same principle, no? Isn't it literally a fucking... No, it's... It's the same principle. They make a fucking hole, and they put a suck straw through that hole with a camera attached to it, and then that suck straw with little saws inside of it basically go in there and suck the foreign object. Point is, it sounds fucking gross. And it is kind of gross. But it's life-saving. Right? So you can describe all manner of surgery as gross because it is gross, right? And not only that, but also the success rating of surgeries for trans people is infinitely higher than any number of surgeries that that cis people undertake, and no one is choosing to ban those surgeries. Got it? It's video game surgery, to be honest. I'm a surgical tech, and we get to aim the camera. See? Surgeons are fucking psychos. For this reason, look at this motherfucker talking about it like it's a video game. Bro, you're cutting my shit up. Anyway. BS, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. You're right about laparoscopic. I don't know why chatters are being silly. What do you mean? That's the whole point.